Lots of different booths there. There was a concert there this evening. And this, of course, is the ultimate nightmare for not only the organizers of the Atlanta Olympics, but for the people who have been attending as well. It is not entirely unusual, if it were an explosion, for some depraved person to copycat, if you will, the idea of terrorism. But we don't know anything more at this point about what, in fact, caused this explosion. Okay, we're going to show you tape now of moments after it happened in Centennial Park. These are injured people who are on the ground. A lot of this is unedited. We haven't had a chance to look at it very carefully, so just stay with us. But the ambulance brigade was on the scene instantly. The Atlanta police have been working around the clock with security agencies, not only from the state, but from the federal government and from around the country, for that matter. A lot of military personnel on the streets of Atlanta this week, too. Now we're going to see the tower at the base of which we think this explosion occurred, right there. That's where the concert was going on, and you can see a fairly substantial amount of, but confined damage, no residual damage in the outlying areas, so it could have been some kind of a crude instrument if in fact it was not an electrical transformer. That had been the initial report, but at this point we don't know. But Gary McConnell, who runs the state command post for the state of Georgia, telling our Bob Serkin that he thinks it may have been a pipe bomb of some kind. We're going to show you now just where Centennial Park is located here in downtown Atlanta. It is in the heart of the city, not too far from the CNN headquarters and from what is called the International Broadcast Center, which is where all of us are located at NBC News and broadcasters from around the world. It was the idea of Billy Payne, the organizer of the Olympic committees, to have some place for everyone to go when they were not at the venues. Let's go to NBC's Jim Gray now. Jim?
Bob, we're out on the corner here of Williams and Techwood, and we have Officer Brown here. Officer, can you give us any information as to what's going on behind the scenes here?
Well, there's been some type of an accident, but I'm not sure what's happened, and I'm not at liberty to say. There's investigators up there now. They're trying to put everything together here, and you're going to have to wait till they come down, and they'll explain to you what's happened. But
do you have any idea how many people are hurt?
Well, there are people hurt. That's all I can say, and how bad I don't know either. But there have been some injuries. That's all I can say.
How many ambulances and police have responded?
You saw them just as well as I did. We had a bunch of ambulances. How many? I don't know any more than you do.
Were you here when the explosion went off?
Yes, I was.
What did it sound like? What was it like?
It was just a loud bang and a large bang. That's all.
Was there total chaos? There's total chaos down here now. What have you guys done to secure this area?
Well, naturally, people took off running. But that's all I can say, folks. There'll be people down here that can talk to you and tell you exactly what's going on, because I'm not certain myself.
Do you believe this area is secure right now?
Yes, it is.
And there won't be any more explosions?
Well, I can't say that. Nobody could say that. You don't know. In this world, you don't know how things can go.
What's the next step that you'll take right now?
Well, we're just securing the scene so that nothing else can happen.
Now, there's several thousand people, tens of thousands of people that are still in this area.
No, we've got all the civilians out. We've just got the area secured to conduct an investigation. Do you have all the injured people? They're moving anybody that was injured out.
Any idea on the injured, how many there are?
There's injured people, that's all I can say.
Do you know if anyone has died?
I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know.
Okay, officer. Well, that is the latest from the corner here of Williams and Spring Street in Techwood, just outside. We're just behind Coca-Cola City, which is a part of Centennial Olympic Park, Bob, and it is total chaos, mass pandemonium going on down here. People trying to remain calm. Some people who are just a block or two away are still carrying on as though nothing has occurred. Either they haven't gotten the information, but people are still just very close in this proximity. Tens of thousands of people are just meandering and hanging around, and of course there's a lot of curiosity seekers and people who are just trying to find out information. But the police, as we just heard from Officer Brown, who is the lead of this corner and for this street here, that they're trying to secure the area.
All right, thanks very much, Jim Gray. We just want to reiterate what we know for a fact at this point. Bob Serkin telling us that Georgia state authorities told him at the command post that perhaps as many as 15 people injured. There could have been as many as 4 fatalities, unconfirmed. We did have a cameraman who works for KNBC in Los Angeles on the air a few moments ago talking about police clearing people away from what they described as a suspicious package moments before the explosion occurred. He said, in fact, his partner was hurt in that explosion as he was rolling on it at the time. We have not been able to see that videotape as yet. Now, this area is an area where a lot of people can come and go freely. Almost every other place in Atlanta requires very stringent passes of one kind or another or an Olympic ticket. But this is the one place where they wanted everybody to gather and to be able to enjoy the festival area, the festive area of this Olympic celebration. Let's go back to Jim Gray now, who has an eyewitness. Jim?
All right, Tom, I'm here with Julius Moore. He was an eyewitness. Tell us exactly what you heard, what you saw, and the time that this all occurred, Julius.
We was in the brick section 185, just enjoying.
Which is the center of the park.
Right, and we was enjoying ourselves, just having fun, and just out of nowhere, you just heard a loud noise, boom, you felt the ground shake. Then you start hearing the police hollering, get down. Then you start hearing people hollering, it's a bomb, it's a bomb. Everybody started running, chaos broke out, debris got to falling, people was hollering.
Did it knock you down?
No, it didn't knock me down. No, I was like shocked. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. And
how close were you to it?
I felt the ground shake. I felt it like vibrate.
Could you see people injured?
Not injured, but I seen people falling. I heard people hollering.
Do you have any idea, what did the police do at that time? Do you have any idea how many people are injured back in there?
Easily 20 to 30 people, easily.
What was your reaction? Did you think it was a bomb? Did you think it was a transformer? Did you think it was a firecracker? What did you think it was at that moment?
I had no idea. It's like my mind I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't know. I just went blank. I couldn't believe it.
What was going on in the park at that time? Was it a joyous celebration?
Music, people dancing, people enjoying themselves, having fun, enjoying the Olympics, enjoying the music, having a good time.
Julius Moore, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Tom, an eyewitness here giving his account. Back to you, Tom. As of now, the police have totally closed off the entire section of downtown and are asking everybody to please that are in this area go back to their hotels or to go back into their residences to avoid this area. Unfortunately, for some people right now, they can't get back to their hotels or back to their homes because this entire section of downtown has been cordoned off. Now, I'm a resident of Atlanta, and what this basically has done is this has shut off all of the city at it has shut off almost entirely the city. This is right here is the intersection where 75 and 85 exit and come into downtown. That ramp was already closed. What it has done is it has created not only a traffic snarl on the roads, but it is all of this massive humanity has nowhere to go. They cannot get home and they cannot get into downtown. And you wonder if it's not a dangerous situation because these people have no place to go and are being told by the police they can't get where they need to be. Tom?
All right, thanks, Jim Gray. As we repeat to you once again, there has been an explosion, the nature of which is unconfirmed at this hour. It happened between 1 and 1:30 this morning in Atlanta in a place called Centennial Park during a concert. It does now appear that more than a dozen people were injured. There have been some reports that there were as many as 4 fatalities, again unconfirmed. But Bob Serkin, who works for NBC, was there talking with Georgia state authorities. This is where it happened, right in the heart of downtown Atlanta. The Centennial Park was created for the Olympic celebration. It's been going on for about a week now, and people plainly have put the idea of any kind of terrorist attack out of their minds because things have been going so smoothly and they've been having such a good time here. But tonight, all that changed in a heartbeat. We're going to play for you now a recording of the explosion as you look at this map. This is how it sounded.
Chamber of Commerce building, and you'll hear what we heard. It's Cawthon. He's the guy that Joe Frazier has worked with in Philadelphia. Barely advanced rock-like Mongolian opponent in the second round. Cawthon hung on for a 10-9.
Obviously, that was our affiliate or station in Columbus, Ohio, was doing a report probably back to its local station when the explosion occurred. You could hear that it was relatively confined. A lot of people were describing it as a concussion explosion of some kind or another. The initial report said it might have been an electrical transformer. But we now know that police were trying to clear some people out of that area because they discovered what they described as a suspicious package at the bottom of a large tower in the middle of Centennial Park. Once again, you're looking now at a videotape of people who were injured in the explosion. Most of these injuries right now appear to be superficial. We have seen Atlanta City Police down on the ground as well. Obviously, the injured are suffering not only from physical wounds, but there is the psychological shock of what has happened to them as well. Atlanta had secured this area less well, I suppose, than they had most of the Olympic venues, because this was the place where people would be able to come and congregate and buy things and trade pins and enjoy the Olympic Games, whether or not they had a ticket for any of the events. And then tonight, all that has changed. You heard Jim Gray say the area now has been absolutely secured, shut down to the point that people who are trapped there cannot get out of the area and may not be able to get back to their hotels easily. We hope that they'll be able to get that corrected before too long. Jim Gray?
All right, thank you, Tom. Jim Stave was another eyewitness. He's from Marietta, Georgia. He happened to be, by his account, 300 yards away from this explosion. Can you please tell me exactly what you heard, what it felt like, and when it occurred?
Well, it occurred, I would say, right now, probably an hour and 15 minutes ago. And we were standing right at the entrance to Centennial Olympic Park. And
when you say right at the entrance, by the Omni Hotel in the CNN Center?
No, right at the main entrance to the Olympic Park. And the Swatch, that venue that they have set up inside,
which is right behind the street, right behind us here.
Which is on the street right behind you. Something came off, it looked like it came off of that stage. My first reaction that it was an electric, shut up, Brian, that it was an electrical explosion, and that it came through the back of the Swatch. There is a hole in the Swatch building, and it came through the back of the Swatch and out onto the street right across from where Fat Tuesdays is set up.
Now, did all of that building or the shrapnel from that building start flying?
There was debris that hit people on the street. They were the ones that were most badly injured from what I could see.
Were you knocked down?
No.
You saw some people in there injured?
I saw both people inside, on front of the Swatch stage, down, with police around them. They were injured, but the people that got the shrapnel or the debris from the bomb were outside of the park on the main street.
On this street right here, on William Street?
On William Street, right.
And do you have any idea the numbers of people that you saw go down and injured, if you could guesstimate for us?
I've heard anything from 10, I've heard 12.
Don't tell us what you heard. What did you see?
I heard one.
You saw one?
I personally saw one, right.
And what was the scene after that? Pandemonium? Chaos?
No, the first scene was after the explosion. You heard an explosion, and you could smell gunpowder right away. So you knew that there was something. You know, it wasn't a firecracker, it wasn't anything. You could smell, there was heavy gunpowder smell.
Gunpowder, but you thought it was a transformer?
I thought it was something off the stage, electrical. My first reaction.
Now, was there a lot of smoke? Was there any fire?
There was just a flash of light and then an explosion.
What did you do at that point? Did you run?
No, at that point there was somebody coming up the street and they were screaming there was a bomb, and the police started coming back up the street and clearing everybody back, said get back, and I grabbed my two nephews and we ran backwards, not to get stampeded, because I said you're going to get stampeded if you stay here.
And was that eventually what occurred? Was there a stampede?
There really wasn't anybody that I saw go down as a result of the stampede. It was pretty organized and the people really responded, got out of the way.
Now, what will you do now? Are you in a situation where you can't get back to your car, get back to the highway to get home?
I can't get back to my car right now. It's back on Simpson Street, which is 2 blocks this way, and we're at the point where they're not letting you through right here.
We thank you for your words and your account.
Thank you.
All right, Tom, so the scene continues to be rather chaotic down here, and police are doing their best to get people out of the area. Unfortunately, when they get out of the area, they have to congregate into another area, and it is impossible for them to get anywhere really where they need to be.
All right, thanks very much. Jim Gray at the scene of the explosion talking with eyewitnesses tonight. We do know some more now. Georgia Power, which is the electric utility here, says it had no transformers in that area. Now, there might have been transformers connected with the rock concert, but a significant interview that we heard on KNBC, which is our NBC-owned station in Los Angeles. A cameraman working for KNBC said he was told by police that there was a suspicious package in the area of the tower. They were trying to clear people away very quietly, as he described it. He was rolling, he thought, on the package at the time. When the explosion went off, his partner was hurt. We're now told by Georgia state authorities they believe that there are 4 fatalities. The Associated Press is also reporting that they believe that there are 4 dead in this explosion, too. 15 injured was one number that we heard, but based on the videotape that we've been seeing. Probably more than that. Some of the injuries, some of the interviews, some of the injuries obviously are quite superficial. Let's go now to that interview with the cameraman who was talking with Paul Moyers and Colleen Williams earlier for their report back in Los Angeles.